All right, so I'm going to show you today how to lay out a wall first with no openings, no obstructions in it. Meaning it's just a studded wall. All right? And we're going to show you, I'm going to show you at 16 inch on center. The same principle applies for 24 inch on center. Why do we do 16 inch on center in a house? Why are our studs at 16 and not 24 inch center on most houses? That's how you get the most structural integrity. Thank you, Hammerman. All right, so typically I'm going to have you lay out only the bottom plate. But typically speaking, we would take the top plate of our wall and the bottom plate of our wall, line up the ends, and I use my speed square like this so that they're lined up. And I start laying out, you've done this before, but this is a refresher. I start laying out the bottom plate, and I transfer to the top plate. And I always go, if I'm going from left to right, I continue that throughout. I don't change that. Right now, we're just going to take a look at what we call the bottom plate, okay? I am at 16 inch on center. So you would typically think that all I have to do is go to the 16, the 32. I just have to simply go to those and make a mark. But that's not what we do. Cale, remember what the process is.
Line and then an X. Yeah.
Where does my mark go? Where do I measure to in order to get 16 inches on center so it's easier for me to put the studs up? 15 and what? 15 and 1/4. You hit every fraction but the right one. You said 15 and a half?
I said 15 and a half.
Okay. Guess what? When in doubt, JV is always right. Is that correct?
No.
Okay. All right. We go to 15 and 1/4, which is 3/4 of an inch back from 16 inch on center. Why do I do that? Shh, pay attention, guys.
Because your 2x4 is an inch and a half.
Oops, my 2x4 is an inch and a half wide. If I go back 3/4 of an inch, I can put the one edge, the one edge on my line, and my middle will be at 16 inches on center. Okay, so pay attention. Some of you guys have done this, some of you guys have not. I'm going to lay this out. Actually, let me lay it out on the short board. If you look on your tape measures, all of them will have the 16 inch, 32 inch, 48 inch. What color is it?
Red.
Red. All you're going to do is find all the red marks for 16 inch on center and go back 3/4 of an inch. So I will make a mark at 15 and 1/4. JB, I don't care if you put an arrow, I don't care if you put 1 or 2. I put the arrow just because that's the way I was taught. I go to 32, I back up 3/4 of an inch to 31 and 1/4. I make a mark. I do not have 48 out here, so I'll stop there. But on your board, I want you to go all the way out, if your board is big enough, to 8 feet. Okay? Now, when you start, I started from the left and pulled to the right. I'm going to come in from the left end then and make a mark at 1.5 inches. And this is my first stud. I put an X on the left side. On the first stud, I come in 1.5 inches from the end, make my mark, draw my line and put an X on the left. Okay? From there on, every 16 inch on center mark, which is actually 3/4 of an inch back, I make a mark and I put my X on the right side because that is where the stud will go. So I come out here to this one, make my, oops, a little off, put my X here. Stud goes to the X. So if I'm on this one, and you guys, these are not cut to 8-foot lengths, but I want you to stop at 8. So when you get out to 8 feet, I want you to make a mark. However, that's the end of our wall, right? So if I make the end of the wall, the stud is going to go here at 8 feet, right? I want that one on this side the same as that one. It'd be on the left because what we would do typically is cut, if it was an 8-foot wall, we would cut that off at 8 feet, and then this would be our end stud here. So if we were to look at this, our stud would go here. At the end, our stud would go
No, I didn't move.
here. And at every 16 mark, I'll make one on this one. At every 16 inch on center, I would have a stud. When I put the two plates together and make those marks across, then I guarantee that my wall is perpendicular, that the studs are perpendicular to the bottom and top plate, and they're not tilted like this or wrapped, okay? All right? Okay. Somebody's got to start here. They have to mark the end on this side, okay? So as a review, when you get done, when I say go, white pine 2x4.
White.
Grab one, spread out, lay the wall, you stay right here then. Out 16 inch on center. One partner does it on one side, the other partner does it on the other. You can cut that out.